Hello and welcome to another Top 5 video. Today's video is on the top 5 game shows I miss watching on NBC. I love NBC ever since I was a little kid. They had pretty good game shows and stuff. However, some of them were canceled and some were moved to other stations. Let's take a look at my top 5 list. Number 5. Number 5 goes to It's Worth What? A show hosted by Cedric the Entertainer, which he is a very good host on the show. Now, the show debuted back in 2011, but it was sadly not renewed for a second season, although it should have been. I don't know what NBC was thinking, but oh well. Anyway, the game works is, in the first round, you'll have to figure out which one of those two items is worth more. If you guess right, you will earn money. If you guess wrong, you get nothing. And they play games where you have to determine why the reason that item is sold a lot, or which one is that certain amount, stuff like that. And at the end, you have to guess which of your prices is more expensive than Cedric's prices he has. So let's move on to number 4. Number 4. Number 4 goes to Identity. It's a show that's hosted by Penn Jillette. You know, Penn from Penn and Teller, one of the half comedy duo people. Now, the game is obviously about trying to guess which identity goes to which random person. And you could win up. There are 11 different people. If you guess correctly, you could earn up to 500,000. First level being 1,000, then 5,000, then 10,000, then so on and so forth. Now, but they were going to bring it back for another season in 2007, but they never did. So, yeah, you will get help if you messed up. Now, there are 3 helps. One is mistaken identity. If you mess up, unless you get to the point of 250,000, you will still be in the game. But if you mess up the second time, it's game over and you go home with nothing. The other 2 are try identity, which narrows down to 3 people, and the third one being ask the experts, which will probably help you in the game. So, identity is number 4. However, there are 2 others that also appeared around 2006-ish, but I'm going to get to that. So that's number 4. Let's get to number 3. Number 3. Deal or No Deal is number 3 on my list. And if you don't know what it's about, it originally started in the Netherlands back in 2000, and it wasn't broadcast into other countries. There's like the Australian version, the British version, and obviously the American version, and other countries. In the American version, you got 26 cases, and you got these lovely 26 ladies, number 3 being my favorite, that being Lisa. And you try to pick a case. Now, it goes from a penny all the way up to $1 million. The object of the game is to get rid of the smaller cases, hoping that you have the $1 million. If you knock off the $1 million, it'd be very bad, and your offer would be lower. So each time you pick a few cases, the banker will try to pressure you and get you out of the game. Overall, Deal or No Deal is a pretty good game show, and I highly recommend watching it. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2. Number 2 goes to 21, a very classic game show, but I prefer the revival version with Maury Povich. I particularly like the 90s version a bit more than the 2000 version, you know, with the introduction that says, last week on 21, and it shows from NBC studios in Los Angeles and such. I particularly like that version more than the later one where he says, "Hi, I'm Maury Povich, yada yada yada." So, that's just my honest opinion. And the object of the game is to obviously get to 21 points. Each category can wager how many points you want to play for, from 1 being the easiest to 11 being the hardest. And if you get an answer right, you will earn the points. Get it wrong, you will get a strike. And just like in baseball, 3 strikes and it's game over. However, if you're struggling on the question, you can ask for a second chance. If you get the answer right, thanks to help, you will earn the points. But if you mess up, you're going to get 2 strikes against you. So the game will end if someone gets struck out, or if someone wishes to stop the game, or if someone reaches 21. And if we have a tie situation, they go to a tiebreaker, and Maury Povich will ask a question, and whoever buzzes in first and gets it right, they win, and play the bonus game. And the bonus game is obviously true or false questions. Answer it correctly, you will earn 10,000, then the next one being 20,000, then the next one being 30,000, and so on and so forth. But if you get an answer wrong, you will lose the bonus money, the money in the bonus round, but you will keep what you have won from the main game. Anyway, that's number 2 on my list. Let's get on with number 1. Number 1. Before I say what it is, I'll let the video clip say what my number 1 game show I miss watching on NBC is. Here's the video. Number 1 goes to 1 versus 100. It's a game show where it involves either you're going to win or the mob is going to win. Now, the show originally started back in 2006, where I particularly like the older one, where each mob member you knock out, you get $1,000 for the first 3 questions, then 2,000 for the next few questions, and so on and so forth. And I prefer how the set was on the older version, where the screen was to the left and it said A, B, and C from top to bottom. On the later version, they put it between the mob, and it had A to the left, from left to right. And I didn't like the later version where if you knock out 10 people, you get $1,000, and so on and so forth. I prefer the older ladder, but that's just my opinion. However, there was a concept: if you use up all your helps, you get to see a preview to the next question. And let's face it, Bob Saget was a better host than Carrie Ann Inaba, to tell you the truth. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me. I just wish they kept the old concept for each mob member you knock out, you get a certain cash amount. So, yeah. In the old, very, very early episode, if you ask for help, the first one you ask for help is pull the mob. The second one is ask the mob. Later on in the early episodes, they added trust the mob, where they lock in an answer that the mob went with. Pull the mob is where you want to know more about how many percent of the mob went with that answer. Ask the mob, it picks 2 random people, one of them picking the right answer, the other picking the wrong, which means the third one that's not shown is obviously excluded, and it's no good. You'll know it's wrong, so you'll know not to pick that one. So the thing I like about the concept about the GSN version, they use webcams to play at home. That concept is decent, but I still like Bob Saget as a host. I never really liked Carrie Ann Inaba, to tell you the truth. Plus, I hated it when they got rid of Ask the Mob on the GSN revival. They should have kept that help and make it 3, in my honest opinion. Well, that's my number 1 favorite game show. And yes, someone has actually won $1 million. If you want to see that video, I'll probably put it in the link. That's my top 5 game shows I miss watching. Thanks for watching. What game shows do you miss watching on NBC? Write them down in the